Hi fifth graders, Ms. James here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to add fractions with unlike denominators when the sum, which means the answer in an addition sentence, is greater than 2. So looking at this, I can already tell that this is a bit different than yesterday because I have two mixed numbers. So I think that connects with the sum being greater than 2. So one thing that I tell myself when I'm adding mixed numbers that helps me is I think whole number, fraction, and then the attachment. Whole number, fraction, and then the attachment. So I'm going to start with the whole numbers. So my whole numbers, as we can see, is 2 and 1. So I'm going to start by adding those. 2 plus 1 is 3. Whole number, fraction, and then the attachment. So now I want to add the fractions. So I'm going to add 1/5 plus 1/2. So I know from yesterday that one way to add fractions with unlike denominators is I need to skip count to find a common denominator. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I can see that the lowest common denominator is 10. So I'm going to make some equivalent fractions with a denominator of 10. So 1/5, let's see how many tenths that's equal to, times 2. So I have to multiply the numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 1/2, I need to make an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10. So 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 tenths plus 5 tenths is equal to 7 tenths. So whole number, fractions, and then the attachment. So with the attachment, I have to add my 3 and my 7 tenths. So 3 and 7 tenths, I just put them together and I get 3 and 7 tenths. And that's it. So I hope that strategy helps you guys, the whole number, fraction, and then the attachment when I'm adding mixed numbers and getting a sum where it's greater than 2, because this is 3 and 7 tenths. Now I'm going to show you one more example. This might be a little bit trickier because we're going to have to do some regrouping. So I'm going to do my whole number, fraction, and then the attachment. Whole number, fraction, and then the attachment. So I want to add 2 and 4/5 plus 1 and 1/2. So I'm going to start by adding my whole numbers. 2 plus 1, same as above, is 3. Fractions, I want to add my 4/5 plus my 1/2. Check it out, I already did the work up here. I already skip counted to figure out that 10 is going to be the lowest common denominator. So I can go straight to finding my equivalent fractions. 4/5 is equal to how many tenths? This is times 2, so I multiply the numerator times 2, 4 times 2 is 8, sorry. 1/2, we already did this work up here, it's equal to 5 tenths. So now I need to add my 8 tenths and my 5 tenths. And I get 13 tenths. So you might immediately look at this and say, hey, that's a fraction greater than 1 whole. I need to regroup it and make it into a mixed number. So I'm going to think 10 goes into 13 one time. There's a remainder 3. So it's 1 and 3 tenths. So now I have my whole number, my fraction, and now I attach it. 3 plus 1 and 3 tenths is going to be equal to 4 and 3 tenths. And that's it. Make sure that as you're doing the whole number fractions, that you're really circling and noting where your answer is. Because sometimes it can get complicated, but if you're like, okay, this is my answer, and you stamp it, then when you go to the attachment, it'll be a lot easier to combine those. Good luck with your mixed number adding.